there, mathematicians. Welcome to another episode of Math Help for Mr. Pratt's class. Today we're going to talk about that division homework that we had. We're going to look particularly at the division problems with fractions. Tonight's homework was tough. Starting with number 12, let's go through a couple together. In number 12, we are dividing two fractions. The first thing I'm going to notice, though, is that they are both negative, which means that my answer, a negative divided by a negative, will be positive. So we'll have a positive answer. Next, when we divide fractions, there are two methods. The first method is to try to divide straight across. Try to divide 5 by 5, try to divide 8 by 16. If that works out, fantastic. However, in this case, that's not going to work. Why not, you might ask? Because if we do, we will wind up with 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 8 divided by 6 is a half, or 0.5. We really don't want that messy math of fractions inside of fractions. That's no good for us. We're going to use our backup strategy, our method number 2, which is to change the division into a multiplication problem. We do that a lot in math. We don't like the way something looks, so we change it. So in this case, we're going to change this to multiplication. When we do that, our action has to have an equal and opposite reaction. And that reaction is going to happen here as this number is going to flip over to its reciprocal. Reciprocal means we flip it and we'll have 16/5. So we have negative 5/8 times negative 16/5. And now we can multiply straight across. We will multiply the numerator times the numerator, 5 times 16, and get 80. We'll multiply the bottoms, 8 times 5, and get 40. Our answer, again, we said negative divided by negative is positive. Well, that's a fine number, but it's not an okay fraction for our answer. We don't want improper fractions, so we are going to divide that to make it a mixed number. 40 goes into 80 exactly 2 times, and we're finished. 12 is done. It's positive 2. What about number 15, though? Problem 15 looks even tougher. We've got 1/7 divided by some mystery number, what in math we'd usually call a variable, it's missing, equals 14 wholes. 14 wholes. This is a tough problem, and we need to make sure that we think about it the right way. This is asking us, what number, some missing number, what number goes into 1/7 14 times? What number goes into 1/7 14 times? To figure that out, we're going to work backwards, which we usually do when we have a missing number in math, like we'll do when we start our algebra later in the year. We're going to work backwards. So we're going to ask instead, how many times does 14 go into 1/7? So 1/7 divided by 14. How many times does 14 go into 1/7? That will be the same as our missing number. Working backwards a little bit. Well, we don't want to divide a fraction by a whole number. We're going to change 14 into a fraction, and we can do that with any whole number by dividing it by 1. Now, this is a nice fraction, and it's still equal to 14. 1/7 divided by 14 over 1, we can definitely do. Same method as over here. What I'm going to ask you to do is pause the video here and see if you guys can figure this one out on your own, and then check it by our video. So I'll give you a second. Welcome back. Hope you got a good answer. Let's multiply this across, or excuse me, divide this and see what we get. We try to divide across, 1 divided by 14. That's going to be a nasty decimal. In fact, a repeating decimal that goes on for forever. Don't like that. Instead, we're going to use our method 2, where we flip the second number over and change to multiplication. That's a multiplication. Boom. leave the first number alone. Now we can multiply across. 1 times 1 on the top. Numerator times numerator is 1. 7 times 14 is 98. 98, you might say. That's a big number. True story. It is. But 1/98 will go into 1/7 exactly 14 times. And you can flip the second and multiply here to check that if you would like. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been our video. Tomorrow we'll go over a few more because we have the weekend for this problem as well. I hope this was somewhat helpful. Each one of those division problems with fractions will be done the same way. Good luck, and I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, you are the most wonderful students any teacher has.